You testing. It's been a while, and we're gonna run it up real quick. Catch you up. Catch up. This ain't even in 2024. I gotta catch up, but hold up. Let's go to club. Nice. Signal. Okay. Signal. Check signal. It's there. Yeah, it's there. Okay. So good to be back. A lot's moved. A lot's happened. Well, I'm not trying to be dramatic or no, no shit, but new angles, literally. And anyway, to the point. So since my last stream, I've changed up some things in the studio, made some new additions, traded up, and anyways, no more MPC. At this time, I got the Orion Studio interface for the DB25 connections, so I could use both of the outputs, DB25 outputs, to take full advantage of the Neve orbit. And it's been delightful ever since. No, it's been awesome. It's still a learning curve, but I feel like the worst has been had, and I'm really just, I don't know, in a really fun stage of learning and appreciating everything that I've got up to this point. But with that aside, and maybe I'll go deeper into the ethos or everything behind that at a later point in time. But for Jay Burke in the Discord, what's up, dude? This is what is this one? What did I name? Arctic Castle. That's right. You see that? I gotta start naming, being proper with my stuff. But so this is just the, I don't know, my point of view of breaking things down, right? If you recall, I said Zulu is like, it's like magic, right? Point being, well, oh shit, oh that was me. Is so this is Zulu, right? The magic part about this, and why I recommend to any watchers or have you, if you're starting from the ground up and you have your interface, you're doing what you're doing, and you want to you want to go up the ladder, I'd say this is the best place to start. Reason why, for many things that he can explain best, salute MG, but freaking, do you see something peculiar about this arrangement here? Check again, all right? There's no power switch. It's all passive. So it's amazing because you'll see as you're growing your studio, leveling up, whatever the case may be, your devices, whether it's outlets on the wall or a freaking power supply. This doesn't require any power. So what's there not to love about that? Save yourself like, a whole outlet for something else. These right here are the tape decks or emulations, right? So the cassette, the reel to reel, mastering tape, Japanese tape. There's a manual for that. But I say it to say best starting point ever. Why? Well, because why are all the plugins trying to do this? And you're barely scratching the surface, if anything, by going that route. Been there, done that. I just wasn't happy with my results. Hence, years later, and I've had this thing for a few years now, since like 2020. It's only been up to, I'd say, this point, and I'm probably still going to keep saying and like looping this cycle, right? Because there's so much to learn and gain from this thing to understand. But anyway, up to this moment, I mean, I feel like, I have such a better grasp, and I've had this thing now for like 4 or 5 years now. And I'm still finding new presets, new functionality of it. I'm sorry. I'm going to get a freaking jacket because I'm chilly. Hold up. Gonna play something in the meantime real quick. Okay, we're back. So I'm like sipping on ice water and freaking got my fan blowing above me. Anyway, So yeah, I mean, I'm not the one to like, give you a whole TED talk about this. I've already gone longer than I probably should have, but this thing is awesome, dude. It will give you obviously uh, the analog thing, and that what I'm saying in an obscure way is essentially harmonics. And all these plugins advertise warmth, harmonics, saturation, yada yada, right? But this is it. Like this is what they're trying to do, right? So why stack up, you know, 3 to 5 different tape emulators ranging from 50 to $100 or more each? Buy ones, cry ones. You have all of them in one box. Again, link in the description. This man does a great job, really, really great job in terms of going in depth and into explaining and showing, demonstrating uh, its functions. So, with that all aside, on some practical use, so this is the final print, right? Because the way I go about it is I have all my this is my drum group. These are all my VSTs that I end up, tracking through Zulu audio, but obviously they start off all as MIDI. If you're not, you want to start working in audio. If you're not, for many years I was stubborn, and for some beginning time I didn't even know better. But anyway, yes, MIDI, right? My effects, what have you. Yes, I print, every section, right? Every section gets printed, tracked out into Zulu, and from there, once I'm at this point, on some, level 3 tier shit, whatever, I go an extra further step and I have other racks, aka the Neve Orbit, my SSL chain, and my Better Maker that I use to clip. So, all that, this is the sum of that. So, Zulu sounds going out into orbit and then going through all the goodness back into the Orion, and I end up with my 2-track. On my master, we're just gonna hear the 2-track right now. So this is without God Particle, Soothe, all that. Oh. Now, really quick, just with the spiked stuff, and then this last part, don't take with a grain of salt, because I'm still, this part right here up to this final point is I'm still testing, running my tests, and this is still in beta. What I mean by that is Soothe for sure. that's like, you know, a modern mainstay for now. But God Particle, I don't know. I'm hearing things, you know, we shouldn't really, from a mastering standpoint, like the limiter on, like there's better limiters to use, right? From a geek standpoint. But I'm using it as my last limiter. Really, this is really great for your mix bus, right? Checking your levels. 3 bands, J-Burke. So low, mid, high. You have your stereo, you know, widening effect here, which is really taking the harmonics and from the sides, I feel like, and just enhancing them. You don't really want to touch these, but they are available. You know, if you do have to touch them, you made a bad choice decision in the mix phase, so you got to go back. But anyway, from my 2-track, from all the analog coming back in, it's a tedious thing because as I'm tracking in, I'm constantly A-Bing what my levels are. And recently, sometimes it's I'm trying to mitigate the misses. It's a hit and miss, right? Sometimes I get it, like I crush it without crushing it, and it's just dope, and the levels on this thing reflects it, and I don't really have to change nothing but, like, you know, maybe give some volume because let me take this off real quick one time. If you see the volume that I'm tracking in, so pretty much let's just round up -3. So I have 3 dB of headspace, headroom, that I'm allowing myself. And I'm compensating. I could come in hotter, but I'm finding that when I'm tracking in hotter, God Particle likes to slap my wrist and say, no, 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 that's too much sauce. So I gotta attenuate, but it sucks because I know I'm starting to know a little better now, and it's kind of like, duh. But let's say on the Better Maker, I'm pushing in the input, and so I could clip it. When I say clip it, I'm not trying to, like, you know, bastardize the thing, just like, you know, kiss it. So, you know, a dB at most of gain reduction. I wasn't touching the output knob, so I'd be coming in at like -1, -2, whatever, and God Particle here was like, yo, you're tripping, because this guy was always, like, you know, spiking up. This guy was cool. This guy was just blinking. And then my lows would be like, you know, just breaking through the ceiling here. So it was just all types of mess. For a season, that was tripping me up. And then my bright mind was like, oh, because I was stuck on the fact, well, all right, let me, like, you know, attenuate less, or, like, you know, less clip, but you want to clip. My dumbass, I could just adjust the output. So after adjusting the output, I'm learning, like, you know, again, gain staging. It's a little bit of a mind fuck, but I'm starting to assess what's taking place beginning, middle, and after type thing. Anyway, so again, with God Particle on now on the 2-track and Soothe. So we got this guy blinking. You see how we're coming in like at the middle, like very, very, very like almost like slightly prudish. Like, dude, even that measurement right there in the car, in the earbuds, that kick and bass is still thumping. So I think for my next season, for my upcoming season, food for thought, I'm gonna try to aim really right here at this beginning bracket. um, I want to be in the bracket, but I'm not trying to be in the bracket. You know what I mean? So, because yeah, my low end is there. It's there. I want a responsible low end moving forward because it's cool. It sounds cool and big in the car, but comparing it to like AAA tracks or sources, um, you know, from low volume to high, more specifically at high volume, you could still crank it and it's all balanced. Yes, the bass is thumping and, the trunk's rattling, but it's all attenuated and leveled to handle it. So I'm finding that my mixes, even though you see here, it's nothing outlandish, right? However, in the car, the moment I go past like 20, 25 clicks and I start going loud, like, whatever to, see, it's just, it's a little overbearing. It's a little obnoxious. So anyway, I'm peeping that, I'm catching that. And that's my next kind of improvement. But yeah, Jay-Bert, like, I'll mess with this guy so you see what I mean. I'm already getting stereo width from like Fusion and the Better Maker a little bit. But you'll see like it's already there, so I don't know. I stick low. I don't know. 27 is fine with me. What else? What else? Again, I'm barely working the limiter. Kind of getting a dB of reduction at that. I'm still trying to, again, beta testing, finding out what's the right or proper protocol or what do they do type thing. Because yeah, it's interesting because I'm coming in at -3, so I need about 2 to 3 dB a gain. Anything after that, I'm not trying to crush it, and yeah. But you see, I could go for more loudness, but again, it's like a taste thing. I don't know. Like, let's say if I went back to its default, if you load up God Particle, the limiter is set to 5. I mean, I guess it's not too bad. There's so many elements that I go in that I use as reference, right? The phone, AirPods, the car, laptop speaker, TV, anything and everything, really. The latest one, these little on-the-go speakers. So I find like, I don't know, when I try and go for loudness, volume, the translation on these guys, the smaller devices, it just doesn't play well. It just, to my taste, that's just me. But it sounds too harsh. Hence Zulu, right? But still, even still, at least with my productions or style, there's so much high frequency content, the hi-hats, the synths, and then the dummy mission of getting your 808 to kind of hum through these small speakers. You have to be realistic on like how much you're cramming. So I am in the camp of keeping at least dynamic range intact for now, because I think you could definitely have the best of both worlds. There's a way, So I'm learning, but up to this point, this is where I'm at with it. Now with Zulu, one last thing, and then I'll probably start a fresh session. All my tracks are routed out to go into the orbit, so let me reassess really quick. I'll just do so for the sounds. Oh, whoops. This. And then let me mute this. So we're just hearing my Zulu prints of all the synth tracks. It's gonna be really low because that's how it's legit gain staged. You know what? Let me do it with everything so you could kind of see. But before I get to that point, really quick, let me just show you. Okay, so like with this sound, and I'll put like a utility on, so the volume, or fuck it, I'll put God Particle on. That's a little better. So you see what I mean? Like this thing, I didn't really have to go as far as to like, EQ all these after the fact, right? But I did anyways, because when I was adjusting the width, adding width or whatever, on the Fusion, I noticed tracking in that my sides was like, going, it was like going above, like the correlation was just way off. So to mitigate that, I was just, all this is, I'm not even removing the lows, and you'll see why. But all this is, don't get caught up too much in this, but this is just taking down the sides information, and like, that way it could all sit and play nice in the end mix. But check this out. So this low synth, let me wow. Let me just do this. Okay. You notice something? Alright. I'll keep it on a cliffhanger. Look at this sound. Next sound, this pluck. You notice something? I'll keep going. this accent key. Again, you starting to see a pattern? Let's go to this lead synth. Another one. So, dude, all these like EQ cuts, or it's not even an EQ cut. That low shelf that that you see on all the sounds, I didn't track that in. Like, I didn't have a shelf on any of these VSTs, any of them, right? Like, for instance, if I, let me see, was it, who is my keys? Is it you? No. Is it you? No. Ah, okay. So, like for this, let me turn this on. Oh, whoops, I got the group off. Oh, whoops. I got like a group within a group within a group. God, for real. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so again, sorry, follow me because this is all freestyle. Okay, so information was pretty up there. But like, what I'm trying to say or point to you, I did not like, do any cleanup or nothing like that when it came to tracking into Zulu. I just got a vibe, tracked it in, and what came out honestly was already as if it's like pre-EQ'd, pre-mixed, right? Again, the shelves. So, which is what is a primal instinct if you're on that chapter of production, food for thought, when you're really trying to finalize your track, you want to clean up your sounds, right? Make room for the low end, your kick, your sub, your 808. Have things correspond to their spot, their place on the spectrum. So Zulu gives you the harmonics, gives you the saturation, but it also applies some type of a shelf. So it accentuates, it improves on what's already there, and then everything that's not, it kind of just tucks it down. I've heard MG describe this, and honestly, it wasn't up until this prior beat battle to where it all clicked. I'm like, holy shit. This is wild. So yeah, again, big cheat code. If you know, you know. So, and that's not just Zulu, that's what tape does. You know what I mean? So it's able to capture all these transients, peaks, harmonics of the source. It keeps it all intact somehow, some way, without really squashing it. It keeps it intact. Hence, what Mr. Now, MG, and them, their whole demonstration in regards to looking back on the great records and of the past, and the CD quality, and when labels had the budgets at that time, and tape was still in the rotation of things. So, in later years, it's not really much of the case. But again, Zulu gets you there. Zulu, essentially, yeah, it'll take you there. So I say that to say, yeah, let me really quick. So let me take God Particle out. Let me get my drums back in. Main. Let me see. Cool. Let me get this main. I'll keep my sound effects the way they are. Oh shit. So my gain, I'll set this all to 0 for you, right? So my sounds are already at 0. I attenuated the drums or adjusted the levels based on my back and forth between my last analog chain and God Particle, and going over and adjusting, levels and whatnot. But say I didn't, right? Just keeping all my tracks the way I track them in. Peep this. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure I'm correct. Yeah. So my in the box mix, this is pretty much like all my digital sounds and VSTs and whatnot. This is how it was originally gain leveled. But notice it's very stable and level. I'm not going from like -8 spiking up on on a particular 808 note up to like -5 and some shit, and it's very consistent, very stable. And again, Zulu will get your levels. So if anything, I'm kind of curious. Did I lower my sounds on the audio? Oh no, it seems like I even raised them. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, man, that's just like, I don't know if that did anything for you. Takeaways: harmonic, saturation, that low shelf tilt that Zulu does. For us, like in the box beat producers, that's amazing because it takes more than half the guessing and work, really, of doing EQing and all this stuff. Honestly, it makes things less technical and just straight to the art of it. Yeah, I love it. What else? Yeah, harmonic, saturation, the low shelf tilt is amazing. And just having like all your Zulu stems, it just plays nice. I'm not going to go through the headache of playing the digital version of this whole set, but I promise you, like you see this guy right here, I was getting like I was having to do like gymnastics to maintain a steady level at that, right? And again, Zulu, you just don't. It just gives you that consistency throughout your mix. Um, so yeah, hope that helps. Hope that does something. And y'all, let me see. Let me see something. Whoops. Word. Okay. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I'll leave. Let me see. Don't say that. Cool. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I'm just gonna vibe. I'm gonna try and do something right now. That was so trippy. I thought that I thought the sound was coming from my freaking Mac. I was like, what? All right. Anyway. Hi. Cool, cool. Whoops. I'm out.